Uche stormed through the narrow streets, with his mind in confusion. His mother and sister's words echoed in his head like a curse. She's with another man. The doctor is the father of the child. How could Dimma betray him? How could she shatter the very bond they had sworn to protect? Yet, deep inside him, a voice whispered that something could be wrong. Dimma had always been loyal and kind. Even when she faced hardship, she endured it with strength. Was it really possible that she had fallen into the arms of another man? He shook his head, trying to silence the nagging doubts. He had to find her, to know the truth. At that moment, Dimma sat by the window in Dr. Uzo's house, rocking her son gently to sleep. The boy was the only thing that gave her peace these days. She had survived so much: insults, abuse, starvation, and only with Dr. Uzo did she experience what true kindness was. He had taken her in when no one else would, and cared for her and her child without asking for anything in return. But something had begun to change between them, even though it was unspoken. Dr. Uzo was no longer just the kind doctor who had saved her. His lingering glances, his gentle touch as he greeted her, and the way he spoke to her late into the night was all beginning to confuse her. He had even had a disturbing conversation with her the previous night. Dimma, you deserve more than what Uche's family has done to you. You deserve to be loved and cherished. Dimma looked away and said to him, Doctor, you have been so good to me and I appreciate that. But Uche is still my husband. I know that, Dimma. But where is he? He left you to suffer. I can give you and your son a better life, Dimma. Dimma had been too stunned to respond at that time, and now, as she looked down at her son, she couldn't shake the weight of those words. Uche had been gone for so long. Was he ever going to come back? And even if he did, would he believe her story, or would he trust his mother and sister's lies? Just then, Dr. Uzo walked in. He saw her sitting by the window, deep in thoughts. Dimma, you have been quiet today. Is everything alright? She turned to face him. I don't know what to think anymore, Doctor. You have been so kind, but... He sat beside her. I have only done what any man with a heart should do. You are not just a burden or a victim, Dimma. You are a woman of strength, a mother. You deserve to be happy, and I have come to care for you deeply. Dimma's heart was racing by now. Dr. Uzo, please don't... He sighed sadly. I am sorry, Dimma. I know you're still thinking of Uche, but what if he doesn't come back? What will you do by then? Before she could answer, there was a loud knock at the door. Both of them turned in surprise as the knocks grew louder and more impatient. Dr. Uzo went to open the door, and immediately Uche barged in, looking like an angered beast. He looked from the doctor to Dimma, and then his eyes fell on the little boy sleeping in her arms. For a moment, no one spoke, but the tension in the room was suffocating. Uche, Dimma finally whispered. Is it true? Uche asked, and his voice was filled with anger and pain. Did you really run to another man the moment I disappeared? Dimma's eyes widened in shock. No, Uche, it's not like that. Dr. Uzo then stepped forward. Uche, you need to understand the situation. Dimma has been through hell in your absence. Your mother and sister... Stay out of this, Uche backed at the doctor. I know exactly what you have been doing. My mother told me everything. You took her in, didn't you? And now you want to take my place as well. Uzo's expression hardened. I took her in because she had no one else. Your mother and sister treated her like a slave. They threw her out of your house. If I hadn't helped her, she and your son would be on the streets by now. Uche clenched his fists, glaring at the doctor. You expect me to believe that? You're just after my wife. He then turned to Dimma. How could you, Dimma? You and this doctor, what have you been doing? And that boy, he said, pointing towards their child, is he even mine? Dimma gasped for air and she felt as if the ground had shifted beneath her feet. Her worst fear had come true. Uche did not believe her. He was accusing her of lying, of cheating, and of betraying him. How could you say that to me, Uche? He's your son, our son. But Uche was blinded by his mother and sister's lies. You have been living here with another man, Dimma. What else am I supposed to believe? Dr. Uzo could not tolerate it anymore, and so he stepped in. Uche, you need to leave. Dimma and your son have been through so much. If you don't believe her, then that is on you. But don't come here and try to take out your anger on her. Uche glared at the doctor. You think you can replace me, doctor? You think you can be the father of this child? Dr. Uzo scoffed at him. I have done only what should have been done, Uche. I have protected her. While you were gone, I was here making sure that she survived. Before the doctor could finish, Dimma stepped between them with tears running down her face. Stop it, both of you, stop it. She then turned to Uche and said, if you don't trust me, then there is nothing more to say. But just know that everything I did for our son. And if you can't see that, then I don't know what else to do. With that, she turned and went inside, leaving Uche standing there, sitting with anger. Dr. Uzo did not say another word either. He simply went in with Dimma, leaving Uche alone with his anger. Later that evening, Uche returned home still in a state of confusion. He needed answers, and so he went straight to his mother and sister. They were waiting for him as if they knew they had already won. His mother asked him, well, did you see what kind of woman she really is? She has been living with that doctor for a long time, and that child, who knows whose it is? Uche's heart was heavy. I don't know what to think anymore, Mama. She says the boy is mine, but I just don't know. And why did she move out? His sister coughed and then answered him. She just woke up one day and told us that she can't continue living like a widow. She wasn't sure if you were dead or alive. We didn't even know that she had already seen another man. We tried to beg her to stay and wait for you, but she pushed us all and insulted us before leaving. Uche couldn't believe his ears. When did Dimma become like that? And to think I was always thinking about her every day. I had an issue at the company I was working with. My colleague set me up because I would not cooperate with him to dupe the company. I was kept in custody for months and denied access before finally being deported. So while I was over there suffering for her, she could not even wait for me and pray. His mother leaned in and said to him with a soft but manipulative voice, Uche, you have seen the truth with your own eyes. Dimma was never good enough for you. She came here to take everything you have worked for. Forget about her. You deserve better. His sister nodded in agreement. Let her stay with that doctor. They deserve each other. Uche felt the weight of their words in his chest, and for a moment, he considered doing exactly what they said, forgetting about Dimma and moving on. But deep down, something still did not sit right with him. The next day, Uche went out, but he arrived earlier than usual. Just as he was about to enter the house, he overheard his mother and sister laughing. He stopped in his tracks to listen to them. She really thought she could stay in this house and take over, his mother sneered. His sister giggled. It was so easy to get rid of her. All we needed to do was to plant the right doubts in Uche's head. Now she's gone for good. Uche froze out of shock. His worst fears were confirmed. His own family had manipulated him, poisoned his mind against his wife, and driven her away. They had lied to him, all to protect their own selfish interests. He stormed into the house angrily. How could you? He demanded. His mother and sister jumped up, startled by his sudden appearance. You lied to me. You both lied about Dimma. You made me believe she was unfaithful, that our son wasn't mine. How could you do that to me? How evil can you be? No wonder you're still unmarried, Amara. You will never see a man to marry you with your evil hearts. They tried to beg him and defend themselves, but he pushed them aside and went into his room. A few minutes later, he came out with his luggage. You two are evil. I cannot continue staying here with you, and I don't want to ever see you again. Uche stormed out angrily and went to do what he should have done since. He looked for a small apartment, paid for it, and then the next morning, he went back to Dr. Uzo's house. He knocked on the door, but no one answered. He was frustrated, but he waited outside until finally he saw them returning. Dimma with their son in her arms and Dr. Uzo walking beside her. Dimma, Uche called, rushing towards them. Please, Dimma, I need to talk to you. Dimma's heart sank at the sight of Uche. She was not ready for this. She was not ready to face him again. Uche reached them and you could see the regrets in his eyes. I know I have hurt you, Dimma. I have been a fool. I let my mother and sister poison my mind against you. But I know the truth now. I overheard them laughing about how they drove you away. I am so sorry. Dimma looked at him coldly. Sorry? Uche, do you know how much pain I have been through because of you? You accused me of being unfaithful. You denied your own son. I can't just forget all of that. Uche fell to his knees in front of her. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but please, I am begging you, Dimma. I love you. I never stopped loving you. Please, just give me one more chance. Dr. Uzo stood silently, watching the scene unfold. He had always known that this day would come. Dimma was torn between the man she had once loved and the man who had been there for her when no one else was. As Uche begged, Uzo said to Dimma, Dimma, you don't owe me anything. If your heart is still with Uche, you should go back to him. I don't want a love built on pity. Dimma's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Dr. Uzo, the man who had been her savior, who had loved her and cared for her when she had nothing. But then, she turned to Uche, the father of her child, the man she had once given her heart to. Dimma took a deep breath, then turned to Uche. If I have to come back to you, Uche, things have to change. I won't go back to your family house. You have to find a new place for us to live, away from their influence. If you can promise me that, then we can try again. Uche nodded vigorously. I have gotten a new home for us. They will never hurt you again. I will protect you this time. I promise. Uche and Dimma moved into the new apartment, far from the toxic presence of his family. They worked on rebuilding their relationship slowly, with Uche being determined to earn back her trust. His mother and sister realized the extent of their wrongdoing and they came to beg for forgiveness. And even though Uche and Dimma forgave them, Uche made it very clear that he could no longer allow them to interfere in his life, and he told them to maintain their distance from him and his family. Dr. Uzo was heartbroken, but he was at peace and he watched from afar how Dimma returned to the man she loved. He had lost her, but he had done the right thing, and for that, he found peace. Thank you for watching this story. Please share your thoughts about the story with me in the comment section and give the story a thumbs up also. Subscribe to this channel and share the story out with your loved ones. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye!